Hello, everyone, and we hope you're all well. Thank you for joining us today. And this is our welcome from Informa Connect Academy and the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA. We welcome you to this webinar. A few housekeeping notes before we start. Please understand that this webinar is being recorded and the recording will be shared afterwards. The session will run from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So this is a 1-hour session. And towards the end of the session, we will have time for questions and answers. Of course, we'll moderate it from Informa, but the speakers will be answering all your questions. Let me introduce our speakers for today. So we have with us Malek Sarieddine. Did I pronounce that correctly? Malek? Yes, okay. He is the regional head of...
That's true. Go ahead.
Yes, so he's the regional head of partnerships for ACCA Middle East with a career spanning over 19 years. Malek plays a pivotal role in shaping the region's accountancy landscape. He leads ACCA's public sector strategy, fostering partnerships with governments, businesses, and educational institutions to elevate professional standards. Malek's expertise in capacity is building projects alongside his efforts to upskill accounting professionals, makes him a key figure in supporting nationalization agendas and driving economic development across the Middle East. A passionate advocate for the profession, Malek is committed to developing the next generation of finance leaders. Thank you, Malek, for joining us today. Our webinar today is...
Happy to join.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Our webinar today is graced by two distinguished finance experts, Dr. Arif and Professor Veena. Dr. Arif Ahmed, a chartered accountant with over 30 years of experience, holds a doctorate in finance and MBA and is certified in business responsibility, wealth management, derivatives, and blockchain technology. He is also an expert in forensic accounting, risk model validation, and anti-money laundering. Dr. Ahmed has delivered workshops on global financial regulations, served as a consultant to multinational corporations, and has a deep understanding of the impact of blockchain on finance. His insights have guided organizations across sectors, including banking, oil and gas, and real estate. Professor Veena, who's also here with us today, is a chartered accountant and company secretary with 25 years of experience. She brings expertise in corporate restructuring, forensic accounting, anti-money laundering, and insolvency. She holds multiple certifications in corporate social responsibility, commercial arbitration, and UAE tax regulations. Professor Hingarh has been an independent director for listed companies and has played a crucial role in advising on corporate governance. Her work spans across various industries, and she's well-versed in intellectual property rights. A prolific author, Professor Hingarh has published widely on financial law and global accounting standards. Both our experts who are here with us today have trained global corporations, consulted with World Bank, authored internationally recognized books, and influenced industries such as pharmaceuticals, engineering, and mining across continents. They've also been trainers with us, subject matter experts with us for years together, and we owe a lot to their contributions to Informa. Before I move into the question answer session, would the speakers like to add anything to what I've said?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. We must also acknowledge the quality training that Informa provides and brings it to the region. And we're absolutely delighted to host a lot of your sessions, including the CertIFR, for quite a large number of years now.
Thank you. Thank you. Malek?
Right. Thank you, Hannah, for the introduction and for this opportunity. I'm glad to be with you all, with our candidates today. As Hannah introduced me, so we work, we have already collaboration in place between Informa Academy Connect and ACCA. Informa Academy is a registered learning partner for ACCA. We collaborate since many years as a partner, and they deliver tuition on ACCA learning programs. We're going to discuss today only one of our ACCA professional learning programs, which is the Certificate in International Financial Reporting Standards, the CertIFR, which is very popular by its acronym CertIFR. And this program is just one out of probably more than 100 short standalone professional learning programs. That's how we define them from ACCA perspective. We host all such programs on our portal. It's called ACCA Learning. And I'm sure all the attendees, there's no difference between what's ACCA as a global institute in professional accounting and finance, where we have the global qualification, which is the ACCA, the professional qualification, the longer journey, 3 to 4 years journey, that enable accountants and business professionals to become chartered from the UK. That requires 3 to 4 years versus the short professional short qualification, the light of CertIFR. So yes, I'm happy to see you all, and let's move on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Professor Veena, anything to add?
Well, CertIFR program always excites me because accounting is something which is my passion. And it's rapidly changing across the number of years that we're seeing in the GCC, and we've all come to the IFRS standards. So I think this is the right time to be a part of the IFRS journey. And anybody who's passionate about accounting and finance, they would be passionate about IFRS. And like me, they would be like eating, sleeping, and drinking IFRS.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me quickly move into the question and answer session. My first question, without any further ado, is to Malek. Malek, ACCA is a big name in the accounting world. Can you give us the inside scoop on why it's such a go-to qualification for finance professionals globally? What makes ACCA stand out compared to other certifications which are out there?
Right. Thank you, Hannah. This is a great question, and I would love to speak about that as ACCA. So, right, yes, we are a global, could be the largest global professional organization for accountants and for professional accountants and finance globally. ACCA has a very rich history, more than 120 years. We have been since 1904 with a huge legacy and reputation behind us. So we have been doing, we are the leading, as you mentioned, when it comes to the sphere or the space of accounting and finance. And what really differentiates ACCA from other, of course, we're not alone. We know under the professional qualification space, there are other institutions, and we respect them. They have good qualifications, and we are all ultimately contribute for one big objective, which is contribute to the development of the accountancy profession the world needs. This is the big objective. And we do that across 180 countries with other institutions, as well as with local, as much as they are global, international, and local. So saying that, when it comes to ACCA, which is, as you said, it's very popular when we speak accounting and finance. As I said in the beginning, we help and enable accountants, finance professionals, business professionals to become chartered accountants from the UK. This is, of course, the biggest, the ultimate objective. However, ACCA is very unconventional organization. So that's why I don't like to put ourselves in a comparison rather than demonstrating or highlighting the values and what really differentiates us with all respect to other professional bodies. So ACCA, when it comes to the qualification, the hardcore, which holds the name of the qualification, it's a long journey. We know that it's 3 years journey on average, which is not easy. It's not cup of tea for many people. We know that. However, it's not the case for many. So right now we have more than 250,000 members, fully chartered, 250,000. We have more than 500,000 students and affiliates. We call them future members globally in 180 countries. So, and we are present in more than 100 countries as offices around the world. And I am based in Dubai, UAE, which is the regional office for the Middle East. So the journey itself and the ACCA, the qualifications, the exam paper, the syllabi, one of the way we cover the elements that we cover within that journey is massive. And I believe we as partners and you as a learning institute understand that very well. And even probably our audience, if they're coming from that industry and they have a bit of experience with ACA, they would know that. So we cover all elements when it comes to accounting and finance within our exam papers, from financial accountant to management accountant to tax to audited assurance to cost accounting to IFRS to financial reporting, etc., etc. So the journey is very rich. What we cover is very rich. However, as I said, the journey might not be long for many because our students they come to us from different path, right? So many of them they already have bachelor degrees in accounting and finance. So the journey for them will not be that long, probably would be between 1 year and a half to 2 years, because we at ACA recognize and award exemptions. So we recognize other qualifications, whether academic or professional, and based on such recognition, we do assessment and we award our students with exemptions. And such exemption starts from 1 paper all the way up to 9 papers, depending on what they're coming from. So ultimately, they can, some students, they have 9 exemptions, so they would end up only with 4 papers, right? So the journey will be very short, and then they can complete simply in 1 year. Literally in 12 months, they can complete the journey, and then they walk towards their experience. However, it's not only the matter of duration and the journey, but it's more how rigorous our exam papers, our syllabi, what we cover, and the most important, how we keep them relevant and up to date. And that's why ACA is very popular for how we really well known by reflecting all the, for example, the mega changes what's happening now, the mega trends. Well, when we speak digital transformation, and we know how much digital transformation is impacting accounting and finance profession, right? Very much. So the role of accountants is changing a lot. And that's one of the roles of global bodies like ACA, is to prepare and to embrace such a change rather than resisting, working and embracing such change, reflecting that into our exam papers, adding skills and knowledge to prepare future accountants and future finance professionals in order to, as I mentioned, to embrace and get equipped with skills that are relevant to the future role of accountants and finance professionals. And that's one of the things we always work on within our exam papers, and as I mentioned. And of course, addition to that, the programs that we mentioned, which we aim to support all finance professionals, not only ACCA members. So yes, ACCA members are at the core, at the heart of ACCA. We're a membership body at the end of the day, we're an awarding body. So yes, our members, 50,000, and our students and future members have more than 500,000. But we also look at the profession in general and other finance professions.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you, Malek. I do know that when we apply for our annual membership, it's a very rigorous process, and there's a lot of looking into the content of the courses and the qualification of our trainers. It's very in-depth, it's very rigorous. So yes, I perfectly understand the quality, the standard at which ACCA likes to function, and that definitely sets you apart for sure. I'm moving on quickly.
But by the way, there's one more element which really, especially in this part of the world, we see it when we really contribute to the change of many students of future members' life, is the mobility that we really help our students, our future members, our members with, whether in this part of the world, in the Middle East, or globally. So ACA act for them as a global passport. So wherever they go, they know that they have a globally recognized qualification. So please carry on.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the global recognition is huge today, because we are a global village, and it really matters that wherever we go, our qualifications carry the same value wherever we are. I'm quickly moving into the second question, and this is for Professor Veena. As we dive into CertIFR, and we saw your passion for IFRS just now, For those who might not be familiar, what exactly is this certification? And why do you think it's become such a hot ticket in the industry?
Right. Hannah, I love the word hot ticket. So I'm going to address this question in two parts. First, what is CertIFR? If you look at the full form of CertIFR, it stands for Certificate in International Financial Reporting. And this is a globally recognized qualification. I've been working in the UK, I've been working in the Middle East, I've been working in South Asia. Everywhere they recognize this qualification because it's from a globally recognized body of ACCA. Now, this program is designed to help us get an understanding about the principles and the practices of applying the IFRS. So it covers all the key standards. It covers how you apply them in your real life. Now, that was about the CertIFR. Now, why is it such a hot ticket? There has been a global standardization of financial reporting, and the GCC has already adopted the IFRS standards. So we are a part of the 60 odd countries of who are adopting the IFRS standard, and we right here in the center all of us are adopting the IFRS standard as well. Secondly, because of this, what is happening, there's a big demand for IFRS expertise, which is coming up. You need professionals today who know how to prepare, how to analyze financial reports using IFRS, and also how to audit those financial reports. Now, so there is a big gap which has come in for the requiring these kinds of professionals. So there's a big demand for them. Now, those in finance and accounting, if you want to look for a career advancement, there is no better time and opportunity but to learn about these IFRS standards, because it is only this which will give us the competitive edge in our job. Because this is something, if you look from the fourth angle, a regulatory compliance, right? So when there is a regulatory requirement, there is but no choice, right? You have to know about the IFRS standards, and we have to keep complying with these evolving standards. Now, why the CertIFR program? Why is it become such a hot ticket? Is apart from these reasons, they have been able to design the course in such a way, the course is designed in such a way that all these complex standards, they are broken up into manageable modules. And these modules are made easier to understand with practical examples. So it is a perfect stepping stone for those who are coming into the IFRS as a CertIFR program. And then if you want to develop further, as we were talking about, there are many more options. You can go further into a full-fledged ACCA program. You can go into a CPA. You can do whatever other you want. But the first stone, the starting point would be this. And that is why this has become such a hot.
Thank you so much, Veena. Thank you. That is, there's so much clarity in that explanation. It's so easy to understand. Let me move on to my next question, which is for Dr. Arif. Dr. Arif, let's talk about the learning journey of CertIFR. What can someone expect when they sign up for this course? Are there any cool features or unique aspects that make this learning experience stand out? You're on mute, Professor.
Yeah. Yes, there is some lovely feature, particular course. It's a very short course, and I think the beauty of the course lies there. Now, what happens there is once you register, once you go to the website, you sign up, and right from there, there's a beautiful choices. For example, you can choose to register only for the assessment. If you feel you know everything about IFRS, I don't need to study, I don't need the material, just pay for the certification fee, appear in the examination, and that's it. On the other hand, you can also get the material. So you have a choice between these two. And but of course, most of them, the people that we have trained or know about, they have always taken the material because that's easy to follow and almost it guides you through the examination. Once you register, you get the confirmation, and interestingly, your registration is valid from the same date. So don't think that the system is smart enough to understand from which day you have started studying. So the day you have paid your fees, your registration starts from that day because there is a 1-year validity to that. Now, once you got the material and everything, what do? You can always opt for a self-study. That's what ACCA has no qualms about if you want to do that. But the real challenge happens that if you're a working executive, and most of us would be on this qualification, it often becomes very difficult to regularly find time and apply it assiduously for learning. So what happens that there are no major platform where you can clear your doubts. You can study on your own, but if you have a doubt, you don't understand a question properly, there's no platform in which you can ask the question if you're doing a self-study. But when you move over to a guided one, like we handle it here, all these questions are answered. If you have some issues with the approach, these are all answered. In terms of the content, there are about 12 modules now, a full detailed list covering almost all the IFRS. And on top of it, there are one of the topics I remember is a very interesting topic, which finds out the alignment of IFRS with other standards. It also talks about how standards are released, that particular process. You get a 360-degree view of how these standards are created, how they're implemented, and how we need to, what skill set we need to apply them. The recommended study hours is 20 hours. And interestingly, the session that we provide with Informa on this is a little more than that. In fact, we provide you about 30 hours of study, because what we do, we pack in a lot of test questions, a lot of mock tests therein, so that whosoever is appearing in the examination is ready for it. It knows exactly what they're going to face in that particular part of it. On top of it, if you are a professional, if you already have a professional qualification, please make no mistake here that even if you have a professional qualification, unless you are ACCA only, wherein you have already covered the IFRS, you still need a specialized knowledge on IFRS. And this course is the initiation level course. So even if you have some other professional qualification, you join them, and you also get a 20 CPD hours. There are requirements of minimum CPD hours to maintain a professional qualification. And this is a very interesting area here. One of the cool features is that not only you get the 20 hours, but you also get an additional certification, which in itself is extremely valuable. Right, Anna.
Thank you so much. Wow, there's so much, that it keeps coming back to the uniqueness of the course and the uniqueness of the delivery and what Informa provides as extra to what already exists. It looks like I'll have fewer questions to ask after that. But Professor, now that you've explained the learning journey, and now that you've told us what these features are, what are the unique aspects, can you explain to us how tough is this exam?
Well, the toughness of any examination depends on how well you are prepared, right? And how well you have practiced it. Many of us who have learned a third language in our school days would not even remember the alphabet of them because we have not practiced it. And ask everybody to recite the Jack and Jill, and they will tell you immediately, because we have been practicing it over the period. So what happens here, the registration here is valid for 12 months. So we've got ample time to clear the examination. It's a different issue that whosoever has joined your Informa's course have cleared it in 7 days. That's a different take altogether. That's the beauty of going through a guided session there. There's a 1-hour online examination having 25 questions and you need to get 50% correct. So you need to get 13 out of 25 correct, but this is what it holds as of now. ACCA may change it at any point of time, but then won't be very different from how it comes around. The fee that we pay allows us to appear or make 3 attempts within the 12 months. You don't need 3 attempts. No, you can jolly well clear in the first attempt. A few may need the second attempt. Yeah, but you'll be able to clear it. You get the results immediately on the screen as you finish the examination. You get the digital certificate almost within few hours, maybe 1 hour at the most, though ACCA has asked us to wait future, but they've been extremely efficient system that generates the digital certificate and send it to us. Now, in terms of getting it correct the first time, the clue is read the material carefully. All the questions are around the material. If you read it carefully and attempt all the module questions, there are module end questions, review sessions. If you follow them up, if your answer is not correct, go back to the material, read that part carefully. That's the best way. I won't say the only way, but that's the best way of clearing it. And it works every time we have put it to use. There are practice tests. Attempt those practice tests, see how you're performing, take them again, find out what are the weak areas. So the practice test gives us a simulation of what life would be during the main examination. So when you go through the main examination, you have a familiarity factor there. What we do in the session, we take our delegates through numerous such practice questions. From our experience, we have created a huge question bank. We share them with our participants. We ask them specific questions. We clarify all the doubts. We time them. We give them the same kind of timing that ACCA would provide. And that's how we prepare them. So that what happens that, as I said, once they appear go for the final examination, there is always this familiarity factor. And mind you, that this is not an end in itself. This is the initiation course into the world of IFRS. Once you're comfortable, you move on to the subsequent levels like diploma in IFRS, which is a higher level course, and a very natural progression from here to the diploma course. Yes, Anna, over to you.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's interesting to see that, it's not just a one-time thing, but you have so many attempts, you have so many ways of moving through the process. And when you go through a guided program, there is so much of support that's provided for you. This is so useful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Arif. Professor Veena, if I can direct the next question to you. Okay, so let's look at, some of us here who are not too sure if CertIFR is the right fit for them. What would you say to someone who is on the fence? How can they figure out if this is the right step they should make to enhance their career?
Very difficult question, Hannah, but I'll try to address it in the best way that I can. Now, when I am talking about a right fit of anything in my career, I would look at a short-term fit as well as a long-term fit. Okay? And I would want to look at the factors that are going to affect me and my career. Right? So from that, let me go point-wise into certain factors which will help you to take the decision. First one, what is your current role and responsibility? Are you in the area of accounting and finance? If you are, then you are in the correct spot, right? Because you are already equipped, you are involved in preparation, analyzing, auditing, or dealing with the financial reporting. And now with the GCC moving into IFRS, you are ready to move there. To do that, you are correctly positioned to take this up in your career path. The next area I will look at is my career aspirations. Like, where do I want to be? Do I really want to grow in the accounting world? Right? So for that, you would need to keep updating yourself, and the best way is to join a course which is constantly getting updated. So you are ready and constantly updated for the role. The third question I would ask is there a demand for this IFRS in the GCC region, in the industry, and globally? We all know that it has become a globally accepted standard, and the demand is growing day by day. And having this will give me the competitive edge, not only in the local, but also in the international market, right? Then I will think about what are my professional goals, my own goals. Do I want to specialize in financial accounting? Do I want to pursue a further qualification in this accounting? So in that case, what is happening? I am having the IFRS. My step 1 is done. I am working in the organization, picking up further experiences, and then moving on probably to complete a ACCA or a CPA program, etc. in the future. If I don't want to do that, even the CertIFR is good enough to give me a good job. Then I will assess what is the time I have with me. What is the kind of time? Today, we all are very busy, right? And Informa has built up the program. Yes, you can do a self-paced learning, but I, like a person like me, I'm not disciplined at all, right? So for me, I love, when somebody gives me a face-to-face, 1 week study, finish, and you have a qualification in hand, and I'm good to go, right? So this program of CertIFR combined with Informa delivering it really gives me that. Lastly, I would test my interest in IFR, in the IFRS standards, right? Do I want to understand global accounting principles? Do I want to get an internationally recognized qualification? Do I want to be where things are happening, right? So if you want to be a part of the entire IFRS journey, you are in the correct place. You are ready to take your first step forward, right? So I think once we address these questions, you will no longer be on the fence, but you will be in the classroom or in the training session, right? Because there is no going back to on IFRS, GCC region. Everyone has adopted these standards, and we are all here and all ready to take IFRS forward.
Thank you so much, Veena. That's completely. I'm sure that nobody's on the fence anymore. They've slipped into the classroom. Malek, my next question is for you. We've heard a lot about CertIFR, and I know Dr. Arif touched on the DipIFR. Could you give us some understanding for those of us here who want to do the CertIFR and see how the progression moves into a DipIFR? Would you explain the process to us, please?
Yeah, of course. I just want to touch on a few points Dr. Arif and Veena highlighted. They know the qualification probably more than I do. They're already experts in the field. They've been delivering tuition for many, many years. So yeah, just to summarize, I believe in summary, the beauty about such short, concise, we call them short and sweet programs as a certificate in IFRS. Because literally, I mean, you can't compare a 3 years a journey with a 20 hours a journey, right? So that's how short the program. And the objective of the program is not to become an expert in IFRS. That's for sure, just to clarify. So you never become the objective of such program is not to make you an expert in IFRS. No, you need much more qualifications and experience to become an expert in financial reporting. However, we define it as a stepping stone. Right, so CertIFR, especially people who works in financial reporting, it's very important as a stepping stone, and that will take you the progression to the DipIFR, which is the diploma in financial reporting that we have, and which is globally very, very popular and very, everybody, and we have many from across the globe who have completed the DipIFR, and they're doing very, very well because that's a different level, that's much more advanced than the certificate. And that's why I said CertIFR acts as a stepping stone. It helps a lot to become in the progression to apply and to study and achieve the diploma IFRS, because there you're going into much in depth and much more rich qualification. Like anything else, when you start your career, when you start your when academic, you start with bachelor degree, you go to master's, and then you do PhD. Very similar in professional qualifications. So you have to take it step by step. Just a few things. So yes, IFR has now adopted more than 160 countries globally. Not only the GC, the whole Middle East. I mean, very few countries they haven't adopted and transformed towards IFRS, and that gives them why this very, very important. In general, the standards, as international accounting standards, and such program, considering its duration, its easy access for 12 months to access the course material and then do the assessment. So assessment, exactly 25 questions, 50% the passing mark, you only need 13 questions to answer. But I believe what really add value to the program, because we know it's available on demand 24/7 on ACCA Learning Portal, where thousands of candidates around the world, around with non-80 candidates, they can apply. However, the value that Informa is doing and extending is the real deal here, because we know from individuals, from students, sometimes they need help, that's why we complete each other. So that's why we have learning partners in place, is to help, support, to guide with subject matter expertise in place, the likes of Dr. Arif and Veena, where they really make the journey much easier. Although it's a very short journey, it can be 3 days, 4 days. It's such a very short program, but versus you're doing it self-paced learning, self-study, which you can have it in 6 months, too long, where you can complete it literally concise in 3 to 5 days. And that's why the role of a learning partner is to help and support with how to transfer such knowledge of short programs and to prepare our students and your students to obtain such program, to understand the standards at a high level. And as they mentioned exactly, our colleague, the beauty about it, every year it's updated. That's why we have it online. We don't have books for CertIFR. So that's why it's easier to update, reflect the standards of the IFRS board. Whenever we have a new standards or we change some standards, introduce new standard, we apply that on our portal. So back to the DipIFR, yes, it's much more in depth. We speak about deliver on consolidation, that we go into much more in depth. We deep dive, as we say, into IFRS. DipIFR would require around, on average, 50 to 60 hours. That's twice of CertIFR it requires. But again, it depends on the background, on the caliber. So like ACCA, yes, we say it's 3 years, but we end up having students only they would complete it in 1 year. It depends if they such caliber, they have background in IFRS, they have studied the CertIFR, or they already have experience in IFRS, or they have a bachelor degree in accounting, because there are certain requirements, either experience or qualification, then they might finish it in 30, 40 hours. Doesn't who said they need like 60 hours for really who don't have background? So that's why the DipIFR needs more preparation. And then the exam is different. The exam is 3 hours exam, not 1 hour exam. And there we have case study, problem solving. It's not on multiple choice, only the likes of cert. And the exam is either we do at the British Council twice a year in December or June. We do it in person at the British Council across the region, or now we have introduced something we call computer-based, the remote invigilation, right? So students around the world in the Middle East, they can sit for the exam from their home. However, there's a certain environment. There should be a camera 360. We have remote invigilators who sit in different parts of the world, especially in the Middle East, between Dubai and the region, and they really monitor step by step, surveil how the students doing the exam. So that too, just especially when we had the challenges like COVID, for example, or people that are in remote area, they don't really can come to British Council, so that's why we introduced that system, that solution for them to sit to remove all the barriers, so they can sit and do the DipIFR exam or even ACCA exams from their home. If we have the right setup with the right internet speed, with the right operating system, everything's in place, then they can do it via remote invigilation. So that's in brief.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Malek, one more question before we end our Q&A session.
Sure.
ACCA offers many different certifications. Can you give us a quick tour of the big certifications like in sustainability or public financial management? And how do these certifications help financial professionals, finance professionals, especially in our region, in the Middle East region?
Right. Yeah. That's very important. We touched on that in the beginning of our webinar. The CertIFR belongs to what we call ACCA professional learning programs. These are short, standalone, completely from the journey, and we have more than 100 plus short programs. They vary between certificates, courses, modules, multiple different levels. But yes, the common word is certificates, right? CPDs, like we have as short as webinars, 1 or 3 hours, 3 hours a webinar recorded, all the way up to 50 or 60 hours, right? So on different, so the way we develop that, of course, we started since more than 20 years, but lately when we expanded our AC learning program, especially for the last 10 years, we embark into different areas, right? So from the understanding, considering the fact that, as we mentioned, the accountancy profession, the finance profession is changing a lot, and we have a role, crucial role as a global body, is to embrace this change, especially the digital transformation. Now we speak about mega technologies, the likes of artificial intelligence, blockchain, machine learning, etc. When we talk about, and then we speak about sustainability, about ESG, sustainability reporting, sustainability assurance. We have many mega trends nowadays, and accountants and finance professionals, they are at the core of what's happening. So that's why the role of that, considering the fact the role of the accountant is changing, and from our considering our role as an institution, we have to embrace such a change. We have obligation support our students and members, future members, and finance professionals in general. We have developed such programs, and then we tackle different areas. So ESG, sustainability, climate finance, green finance, data, digital, and technology. We have developed programs in, for example, data analytics, digital innovation for finance, then into public sector programs. You mentioned PFM, and we have developed, even took initiatives in the Middle East and the ACA. We developed programs in Arabic. They're the only programs available globally now. The likes of IPSAS, for example, for the public sector, which is the same of IFRS, but for the public sector with minor changes, of course. So IPSAS is the other version of IFRS, but for the public sector. And we know now many of the countries in the Middle East, they have started adopting IPSAS. Lately, Saudi Arabia, there have been 5 years doing a huge journey in the Middle East into moving from cash basis into accrual-based accounting following the IPSAS. So we have developed that program very similar to IFRS, but in Arabic. And then we did another one, PFM, Public Financial Management, to help public finance professionals to do upskilling. And that's the ultimate objective of these programs, is to do upskilling, capacity building, capability development, to bring them up to the speed. For example, when we see PFM, so we develop it in Arabic to remove the barrier, because sometimes language is a barrier. We know that for the public sector in some of the countries, not all, of course. So that's why we developed them in Arabic, to remove the English barrier as a language. And then we developed even sustainability for finance in Arabic as well. We launched that last December last year during COP28 in the UAE. So that's the only program, again, in Arabic. So multiple programs across the board in different areas. And lately, for example, just last 2 weeks, we launched a diploma in sustainability, which is one of the most advanced diplomas now, professional diploma in sustainability. It consists of 4 certificates: the framework, the sustainability reporting, of course, IFRS S1 and S2, sustainability assurance. It really covers a broad, proper, hardcore professional diploma in sustainability. So back to the point. So we have the multiple programs in different areas: risk management, ethics, performance management, technology, data, digital, sustainability. And because these areas are now very relevant to all finance professionals. Again, these are not only for ACA students. ACA students or members, yes, they can benefit from this, because remember, once you're a member, we believe in something we call lifelong learning and then continuous professional development. So they have to, whether they are CPAs, ACCA, CFA, all the members, they belong to different professional bodies, they have to do what we call lifelong learning or continuous professional development to make sure we keep them relevant. So that's why we have developed these programs. Some of them we develop with partners, not only ACCA. We have co-branded. For example, climate finance. Take example of that one. We develop it in collaboration with CFA, and that shows as an institution we don't really compete. We complement each other. Whether it's CFA, whether it's IMA, whether multiple or CPA, we complete each other. So we do co-branded programs that we have it in climate finance, which goes with ACCA and CFA and many others. We do with like accounting CPD in the UK, with the PwC, with the big multiple global organizations. We do collaborate to develop programs, again, to help and support finance professionals.
Thank you so much, Malek. Thank you. That was extremely, extremely clear. The explanation was so good. And I'm sure all of us have understood where we are headed with the ACCA courses and how they do deliver what we require for professional enhancement. We will shortly be moving into the Q&A session. So if I could ask all the attendees to be ready with your questions, you can type them in the chat, and our speakers will answer you as soon as the questions are available. Let me just summarize today. Thank you so much, Malek and Arif and Veena, for the informative session. Even to those who are new in the field, you've made the concepts very clear and very accessible. And once again, I'd like to remind you that the floor is going to be open for questions now. I'd like to remind everyone now that you know the value of ACCA certifications and how this is going to enhance your career in finance. Please feel free to reach out to us at Informa, and we are ready to answer your questions and direct your paths. Now, this is your opportunity for your answers directly to be answered by the experts. So I'm just waiting for your questions in the chat. It looks like everybody understood everything. Questions, anyone? Even if it's not related to the session. Yes, we have a question. How do we access the test assessment?
I can answer that. Yeah, it's very
Okay.
easy. So once you study the DipIFR and you're quite confident with the learning, whether you do it self-study, but of course we encourage you to do it with our learning partner. Like now we have with Informa is there, Connect Academy. So once you study, you prepare for your CertIFR, it's very easy. Either you come and do it after you finish the 3 or 4 days of training, right? At the premises that Informa is delivering the tuition via the subject matter experts. So in your computer, you don't need any kind of special access, like ACCA, for example. No, just online, pure on demand. You log in with the same access of your username, your password, because we didn't speak about ACCA is quite simple. You have a portal, you go register, you validate your registration, you go choose the program, and then pay for if you are doing self study. If you're doing with Informa can help you definitely with the process. And then because they give you the you would pay for Informa for the full package, right? The learning, tuition, plus the assessment, everything. And we have 3 attempts on the assessment. We missed to do that, which is very important. That applies on all our programs. You have 3 attempts, but definitely most people, they do it from the first attempt, and then you have the certificate. So you'd log in with the same username, meaning your email address and the password that you have created in the beginning when you signed up on ACCA Learning, where we host this program on the CertIFR. The same access you use for the exam, once you finish the learning journey, whether self-study or with Informa, and then once you're already confident, you click on the assessment. You have 3 attempts. You go do for the attempts. You answer the questions 1 hour over 25 questions. So only you need 13 correct answers, and then you're done. Once immediately you pass, you get download the certificate from our system. You can keep it, and then you have a badge also. That's something we introduced lately for the verification process, where you can promote that on your LinkedIn. It's part of your professional qualifications or your the CPD, as I mentioned, because it's professional development.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Somebody has a question with regard to our schedules for the courses. Yes, we can provide that to you via email and send you our upcoming courses. Definitely, that's not an issue. But you can also log into informa.com, and we have all our courses there. So that's also possible. But yes, we will email you specifically. Any other questions?
Upcoming courses on 17th of November, starting 17th of November, but that's not the only one. I think Informa has multiple courses across the year. So the upcoming one is on what I'm talking on 17th of November.
Thank you so much, Veena. Yes. Is the fees discounted for ACCA members, even if they're inactive?
Yeah. That's a tricky question. Of course, for ACA members, as I said, ACA members are the heart of ACCA, right? And of course, our future members. But yes, all ACA members globally, they enjoy, and we extend them a special discounted rate, more than 20% on any program they choose out of the 100. You're right, they need to be active members with good standing, as we call it, because the moment they sign up with their membership ID, the system will pick that up in order to validate and extend the 20 or 25% discount to them. And of course, we encourage, if that question is coming from non-active member, we encourage you to reactivate your membership, stay as an active, because you spend a lot of time, 3 years of journey preparing for such exams to become chartered, then the experience, 6 years you would have become a doctor in life if you choose medicine as a field. So after all that hard work and the study, and you reach the top of the ladder, you become really the top. You can't do any, I mean, this is the ultimate, to become a chartered accountant. And then after a few years, for any reason, could be CPD, you're not completing that, could be your annual membership for personal finance. I mean, viable. I mean, we're happy even support. We have schemes for that when our members, they struggle to pay their annual membership fees. There are always solutions for that. But we, of course, encourage all our members to stay active, because that certificate by itself, I think it can contribute to 20 hours of CPD. So yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, to keep you relevant with IFRS. We know they study DipIFR, which is paper 8, we call it financial reporting, which is very similar to DipIFR. Advanced level, they studied even an advanced one in the professional exams, series professionals. But yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any other questions? I have a question, which is more subject oriented. What would, let's say a junior level professional, finance professional, what kind of IFRS challenge could they face right now in their current space of work?
Well, if somebody is starting or working on that, is the time they prove themselves, is the time they leave a mark with their line managers. And the study of the IFRS would allow them to be correct every time they dwell on that topic. While you work on the world of accounting, there are various options under various circumstances. This knowledge allows them to pick the right option, which is valid and the best for that particular circumstances. And that earns them a lot of respect, a professional respect from their colleagues, as well as admiration from their seniors. And if a well begun is a journey half done. So when you start your young career with all the recommendations on your LinkedIn, that he started with me and he has been a wonderful, his knowledge is great, that goes a very long way, apart from the others, also to bolster your own confidence in yourself. So I would imagine this is a wonderful session for a youngster who's seeking to make or leave his or her mark in the world of accounting.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Arif.
I would like to add here,
Yes.
from my experience during the sessions, there have been people who are already into the accounting profession, and the reason why they joined this course is, number one, to rehash the accounting standards. In the day-to-day working, you're using one or two only. So you're not really rehashing all the updates that are happening in the standards. Now, this comes like a package, which is not only helping them to rehash what they are working on, but all the accounting standards. The second, so, they're getting a more 360-degree thought over their own company's financial reporting as well. The second is needs to be a clarity in the accounting standards with so many options built in over there. And so when you go through a formal process of education, it builds a lot of clarity in the mind about the subject. I may have done an on-the-job learning. Yes, that is also a part of the learning. But then this overall clarity builds up when you take it up in a formal way. And the last of all, Informa sessions, as you, Hannah, have built them, has a lot of breaks in the middle, like you have your coffee breaks, lunch breaks, etc. And we always have a lot of participants coming in and discussing issues that they have faced during their working in their companies. And although this, I wouldn't say is a part of the CertIFR course, but since we are present there and during the break, there's always chit-chatting, as you know, I love chatting, right? So we do address a number of issues and give our views on that. So I think that's also a add-on benefit that people get.
Thank you so much. Yes, the networking possibilities are incredible at our courses. I know we've gone beyond the time that we had decided on. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you found this session valuable, and we look forward to supporting you on your journey towards ACCA certifications. I have a heart full of gratitude for our expert panelists here today. Thank you, Dr. Arif. Thank you, Professor Veena. Thank you, Malek. Thank you for your time and your expertise and for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for this well-guided program. Thank you all for your time. And
thank you, Hannah.
Advice.
It was great to be with our subject matter experts and with you, Hannah. We wish all the best for our candidates, whether they join CertIFR or other programs. Thanks for arranging that, and hope we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
What if you and your team can be even more informed, competitive, accomplished, even more successful, with programs designed to inspire and empower everyone to become even more? Introducing Informa Connect Academy. With hundreds of global, digital, and in-person training courses led by world-renowned industry experts, reimagining learning experiences for even more unlocked potential. Informa Connect Academy, available at informaconnect.com/academy.